Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic: what do you miss the most from pre-COVID? Not having to talk about the same damn thing all the time. This is a major pet peeve of mine as well. Seeing people is already harder, but when I do see them it's not as fun because we met up 2 weeks ago and literally nothing new happened. No trips, no spontaneous ideas, a lot less travels, no unexpected meetups. I've been dating, and I think over half my dates have had a near out in the past year. Last year I met up with a friend and she said, "Oh yeah, I already know everything you want to say. I saw your housemate last week and she was goddamn right. It sucks." Talking to my dad on the phone, I'm like, "Sorry, I'm boring, literally nothing is happening here. Wake up, do school work, eat food, go to bed, repeat. If it's an exciting day we go for a walk or get groceries." I am so sick of COVID. Making appointments of various kinds, medical, dental, renewing driver's licenses and such, and especially vet appointments, seems like a huge hassle now, and sometimes the next free slot is weeks /months out. Lol, yeah. I had something come up right before a dentist appointment and called to reschedule. First appointment was another 6 months. Then during the cleaning they're like, "You got a lot of build up, why did you wait so long to come in for a cleaning?" Listen, motherfucker. Lihin mu hafua. Edit, welp, never expected gilding for leaning my head back and opening my mouth, so thank you. We veterinarians sincerely apologize for the wait. But please be aware that the number of pet cats and dogs in the US has increased by 43% since 2018. The number of veterinarians and their support staff has not. Also, curbside service takes twice as long. We would see you sooner if we could. But we are worn out and at the end of our ropes, and deeply appreciate your patience. Number of pet cats and dogs in the US has increased by 43% since 2018. Holy crap. Yeah, if anything there are fewer vets than before. My wife just started working as a receptionist at one of the local vet clinics and they are saying that a lot of vets in my area used COVID as an excuse to retire. I can't say I blame them at all, and multiple offices have just closed entirely, one of them with basically no notice for the staff or clients. My friend was taking her cat there, and since the office is closed, she's having a ton of trouble getting their records transferred to a new vet. There are only 2 or 3 offices left in the area immediately around my city, only one of them is accepting new patients, and if your pet has an emergency you have to drive an hour and a half to the big emergency clinic. So all the vets are stressed out because they have too many patients, and all the pet owners are stressed out because they have to wait so long to get their pets' issues checked out, and if something takes a turn there's a significant chance they won't be able to get to the emergency clinic in time. It's a great time for my cat to have an enlarged heart. The big boy in question, his name is Leukemia and he's just too full of love. I miss the fact of just being sick without any other kind of concern. I have chronic, but mild, reflux, irritates my throat causing me to feel the need to clear it. Every other week it's been, is this cough the normal cough or COVID? Having seasonal allergies is a nightmare from a social grace perspective. Sneezing is like firing a blank in a crowd. My favorite California burrito place. They're gone. They were jammed in a small space in a strip mall, but their prices and quality kicked the crap out of the competition. I put one of their paper menus in my filing cabinet so I will always remember them. I can't believe I didn't post it, so many requests for the name. It was El Amigo in Imperial Beach, San Diego. Rip all the places I didn't get to try because pre-COVID I was like, oh, I can go there whenever. No rush. Just think, I retired in January of 2020 thinking, great, I'll be able to travel the country now. Deaf person able communicate with people without a mask. So I can see their face and red lips. I've been feeling lonely. I wish more knew about this. One of my friends is a huge advocate for deaf and hard of hearing folks and she is a big proponent for clear masks. Obviously not on the same level, but I have some minor hearing damage and I find it so much harder to talk to someone with a mask on unless we are in a quiet surrounding. I can't even imagine your frustration. Is there anything that hearing people can do to help deaf people out in this situation, other than the clear masks? Texting on your notes app on your phone seems to be the only way to communicate in noisy situations. That, and patience. As frustrated as a hearing person might feel with having to repeat themselves for the one deaf person they encounter, imagine being the deaf person that has to deal with it all day, every day. Someone being impatient with me can make me feel like shit for the rest of the day. Lower prices. Housing went up, food as well, prices of petrol, electricity and heating are through the roof. It feels like I am buying groceries at the airport. If you can't travel cause of COVID restrictions, we can at least bring airport to you. Rest assured that our wages will stay low until the inevitable economic meltdown. Just got my annual review. Can confirm. I miss not thinking about everything as pre-COVID. Before the pandemic, I usually just thought of past events as past events. But now, I often find myself labeling everything from 2019 and back as oh, that was before COVID. It's sad that the pandemic has gotten to the point where it defines your entire life. I'm the exact same way. Everything is now organized as pre-COVID, early COVID, or current COVID in my head right now. The weird thing for me is that the definition of early COVID keeps changing. By summer 2020, it felt like we had been in COVID for a very long time. But now, that's solidly in the early COVID stage. I feel like this will be a huge milestone in all of our lives for a long time, like 9/11s or pre-AIDS. I think we just were starting to ease off on 9/11's travel security a bit. I hope in 20 years we'll be well free of COVID restrictions. I lived through 9/11's. It was a turning point, but nowhere near the divide in time COVID caused. Life continues to get more and more unbelievable to the point that is what I expect anymore. The certainty, and even if life was uncertain in its own way, it was never this uncertain. Got a holiday booked for 6 months' time. 99.9% you'd get to do it. Got a wedding to look forward to. Yeah, that was going to happen. Now we can't even be certain there's anything to look forward to. Edit, thank you for the kind awards. Here's hoping that we get to do all the things this year. I never realized how much I counted on trips before the pandemic. Whenever I was sad or stressed out with work, I would remind myself it's okay, we're going to _______ in 2 weeks, just gotta get through these 2 weeks. I have nothing planned anymore because it'll just get cancelled or rescheduled, and ultimately cancelled or forgotten about. The only things I am looking forward to now are therapy Zooms and doctor appointments. Future is bleak. Edit, so I was in a bad place when I wrote this comment. I feel a lot better, especially after reading a lot of kind responses. There is a lot to look forward to, but it has been a rough couple years and I think we're all tired. I had a trip for Japan in April of 2020 cancelled. I rebooked for March 2022 cancelled. I just want to go to Japan. I feel ya. My wife and I had a Rome/Paris/London trip booked for June 2020 cancelled. Got it all refunded thankfully, but now our lives have changed, positively, but now I don't know when we'll ever get to go. Live music, going to shows. Not having foggy glasses all the time from mask wearing. This. I went to a gig in December and it felt like a shot of cocaine through my system. It was unreal. I forgot what it was like to dance and sing and enjoy music. Glad I was at an outdoor music festival because I was hit hard with emotion at the first notes of Jimmy Eat World and my sunglasses could hide the tears. Being present-minded. Here and now sort of mentality. Last 2 years feels like I've paused things waiting for this pandemic to blow over. But the more time passes, the more I feel like I'm just wasting away, if it makes sense. Edit, thank you guys for the awards and what is by far my most upvoted comment. Just wanted to clarify that my mental health is fine as far as this pandemic goes, but the comments/concerns are appreciated. Stay safe and as optimistically positive as your situation allows. The ease. To just go wherever whenever. Shakira approves. Understanding what people say. I have bad hearing loss and I rely hard on reading lips. Far more than I realized. Now that everyone is wearing a mask and their voice is slightly muffled, I'm constantly asking people to repeat themselves. Casually popping into restaurants. Thought it said pooping. Still applies. In-person classes. Before COVID, I took a drawing class, a sewing class, etc. Now, it's so much harder to try out a new hobby. The problem is that in isolation you have more time to try out new hobbies, but you're too exhausted from how upsetting the world is to have the discipline to keep up those hobbies in isolation. I try not to feel guilty about letting myself do nothing for a while if I feel overwhelmed. Early on in the pandemic I started a whole new Minecraft world, as well as joined a small Minecraft server. Built an entire base in my private world, started creating a road system to connect my sub-bases around the world map, and at the same time built not one, but two massive castles, in survival, on the server, while also helping other members explore and find new biomes. Had so much freaking free time that I was able to do all of that, get bored and switch over to playing a new character in Skyrim, get bored of that and start replaying all my Legend of Zelda games, and it's now 2022 with Omicron keeping us safely sheltered and I'm starting to consider making yet another new Minecraft world. I've come full circle and things still haven't changed for the better in the outside world. I was in PTA, physical therapist assistant, school during the pandemic and we did hybrid learning. Lab classes in person, lecture online. I learned very quickly that I do not learn through online lectures. I need to be in person to stay engaged. I tried an online class like once 10 years ago, pretty sure I just dropped it a few weeks in. I can do it whenever turns into never doing it for me.